Hey everyone, welcome back to another off-meta decklist video. Today I have Blue Nami for you. I'm pretty excited for this video, to be honest. I'm not a Blue Nami player at all, but when I saw the promo, I wanted to see how good Nami could actually be without access to non-East Blue type cards, right? And so this promo Nami, basically the replacement to the banned Nami, right? It's decent. It's not anything too crazy you'll see in the games, but let's get right into the deck list. I'll explain the leader and the cards, and towards the end of the video, like I do every video, we'll talk more in depth about it. So let's get right into it. We have our leader, the promo Nami, blue 5 life, 5000 power. Under the rules of this game, you can only include cards with the East Blue type in your deck, and when your deck is at 0, you win the game instead of losing. So it's an alternate win con. Always been one of my favorites in TCGs is alternate win cons. I think it's really cool. Obviously, like I said, I don't play Nami at all. I never even played Nami before, but making this video was really fun. Like going against the Emus, Aces, and Rogers, and like some of the cards built into the East Blue really goes against like what these leaders do in OP13, right? So it's really funny. Like I had one match against an Emu where he goes, "Did you just build to counter this deck?" And it's like, no, East Blue type cards are just built that way, right? Sorry to digress, but the Dawn ×1 ability is when this leader's attack deals damage to your opponent's life, you trash one card from the top of your deck. Very simple. So let's get on to our first 2k counter of the deck, but it's not really a 2k. We use its ability. It's the 1 cost 2k counter Kaya. It's on plays, draw 2 cards and trash 2 cards from your hand. Very, very good. Lets you get through your deck quicker. Chaining this with another card, which you'll see later, is basically what gets you to win, and it just really depends on the matchup. And like I said, towards the end, I'll explain which, or even during the matches, I'll explain which combos work best in which matchup, because there are multiple combos you can do, right? There is the aggressive combo, and then there is the what I call like the Kaya replay combo, right? Where you can just keep replaying this Kaya. There's also the Nami event search where you just keep searching the events type of play that you can do. And so let's get more into the cards. It'll help explain it better. Next up is our second 2k op piece. 1 cost 2k counter. On play, trash 2 cards in your hand. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Reveal 1 card with the East Blue. Add it to your hand and place the remaining at the bottom. It's mainly used as a 2k counter, let's be real here. We don't really need to search up any of these cards. We'll get through them eventually. Next up, 1 cost 1k power, 1k counter, Nami. When attacking, look at the top 5 cards of your deck and reveal 1 blue event card and put it into your hand. Then place the rest at the bottom. This is one of the combos I was talking about where you play this out and then like you just keep getting your events. And this goes well with the Mr. Hanger, which we'll get to in a bit. So next up, we have our 2 cost 1000 counter Gaimon. Their ability is when you deal damage to your opponent's life, you trash the top 3 cards of your deck. And if you do, you place this character in the trash, so it's a one-time use. Next up is a blocker. It's Boodle. 2 cost 1000 counter blocker. On KO, trash the top card of your deck. Very simple. Next up is the 2 cost Mr. Hanger, which I was talking about. 1k counter. It's activate main, trash 1 card from your hand and rest the character, and then you draw 1 card. Really, really good. Next up is the 3 cost 3000 power, 1k counter, Zeph. Its ability is during your turn, when your opponent activates a blocker or an event, and your leader is East Blue, you put the top 4 cards of your deck into your trash. This card alone, you can already tell, right? Why it's so good. If they activate a blocker or an event, you trash 4 cards. You can see what kind of combos you can do real well with this deck. Next up, this one was just for placeholder because there's nothing really better to play aside from this. It's the 4 cost 5000 power Rush Usopp. It's Dawn ×1. When the character deals damage, you trash 7 cards from the top of your deck. Honestly, if I could replace this, I would. But there's just nothing good. Like if we take, oh, actually we'll do that later. Next up, we have the 4 cost 5000 power Belmir, 1k counter, Dawn ×1. When this character deals damage to your opponent's life, you trash 7 cards from the top of your deck. And its on KO is you trash 3 cards from the top of your deck. You guys see the pattern here. Next up is the 5 cost 6000 power Zeph. One of my favorite cards in this type of, in East Blue, right? For this deck in particular. It's a 5 cost 6000 power 1k counter. Dawn ×1 character. If the character deals damage to your opponent's life, you trash 7 cards from the top of your deck. Its on play, however, is return up to 1 character with a cost of 3 or less to the owner's hand. Could be yours, could be your opponent's, and if you do, you trash 2 cards from the top of your deck. Notice what I was saying. Kaya, Zeph, trash, put back, play Kaya again, Zeph, bring back to your hand. So if you do this combo once, not only do you trash 2, you trash another 2, so that's 4. You trash another 2 playing out the Kaya again, that's 6. So in one combo of these, just 2 cards, you can get 6 out of your trash instantly. That's one of the main combos that you kind of want to go for. Aside from that, we're going to get into our events. Unfortunately, East Blue doesn't have that many events, but it does have a couple. It's the Usopp's Rubber Band of Doom, of course. 1 cost, counter, one of your leader or characters gains plus 2000 power, trash the top card of your deck. And then the next one is the Gum Gum Giant Gavel, 1 cost, counter, trash 1 card from your hand, your leader gains plus 4000 power, then trash the top 2 cards of your deck. And then the final card is Sanji's Pilaf, of course. 3 cost, main, draw 2 cards. Trigger, draw 2 cards, right? By the way, the trigger for Usopp's Rubber Band is draw 1 and trash the top card of your deck. And for Giant Gavel, it's return 1 character with a cost of 4 or less to the owner's hand. So you could return one of your Kais if you get it from trigger, or you could return just one of your bodies in general. Anyways, this is the East Blue Nami deck list that I came up with. I literally, the way I put this together is I tested, I just searched blue, right? So you type East Blue, and then I just look how low of a selection you have. There's not much to choose from, and so the build is kind of like self-explanatory at this point, because like, really, are you gonna be putting these bodies in, right? These vanillas, or these ones with the where it gets like plus 3000 power, trash 1 card from the top of your deck? There's only so many East Blue cards you can put in, and so the deck really just makes itself, right? This is a fun deck, don't get me wrong, but you'll see. So let's get right into the matches here. Okay, everyone, we're in our first match here, just against Red Purple Roger. You take second. I think, yeah, it's because we learned that Roger likes to take second, right? So we did take second from him. We mulliganed into a really bad hand. That's not what you want to see, really. What you mainly want to see is your combos. So it's either the Searcher Namis that searches for events, some of your counters, the Mr. Hanger and the Event Searcher, or the Zeph and the Kaya. We'll talk, like I said, at the end of the video, we'll talk more about the combos that I've figured out, but we get right into this. We play the Gaimon out. And here against Roger, what you mainly want to do is play your bodies that attack into him. Not only are you applying pressure, getting cards out of his hands, but the cards that you do attack with, trash cards in your deck, right? Attack 6 into us, we counter with a 2k. He passes it back to us after ramping, right? We get a Bellamere, we play the Bellamere, swing 5. I think he does end up countering out, right? Or if he takes, we use the Gaimon ability. Perfect, we trash cards. Oh, you always got to make sure and be aware of what you're trashing, right? Because you got to be aware of what you're drawing into. Because it goes down to like, towards the end of the deck, it really goes down to what you put on the bottom. And you have to be aware of what you do put down there. And you know, what you keep and what you draw into, so. Notice we got just rid of a Zeph and a Hanger. That's perfectly fine. They play the Bullet out to ramp. Attach the rest of our Dawn. Swing for 8. We take. I think we go ahead and... I don't think we play... We do play another Bellamere. Swing 6 into them. They counter out with a 2k. We swing 6 again. They take, and then we end up trashing 7. See? Like I said in the matchup against Roger, you're playing bodies out that attack into them. Not only apply pressure, but get rid of cards in your trash. So notice we have 2 Bellameres. Anyways, they're on their 9 Dawn turn. They play the Katakuri out, swing 6 into our Bellamere. I think we counter out of this, right? No, we take. And it ends up on KO, you trash cards, right? And unfortunately, we trashed the Kaya. So here, I think we do take. They pass it back to us now for sure. We have 24 cards left in deck. Maybe, no, I think we use the Gaimon, right? Or the Zeph? Do we use the Zeph? We don't take anything back. We use its ability, though. We do end up trashing cards from the deck, so we're at 21 now. Attach 1 to belly, swing for 6 into 7. Our mistake there. Play the Gaimon out, maybe. Yep, and then pass it back over. We shouldn't have attacked with the Bellamere. That was a huge mistake. They attack into it, we take. We get the Gum Gum Gavel from life when they attack with their leader. They play the Shanks out, we take. And we're down to 1 life. And notice this isn't really a good spot, right? But you'll see. We play out the blocker, attach into our Zeph, swing for 11. They take, weirdly enough. Who knows why? I don't think they understand what the Zeph ability does. But we do end up taking, trashing 7. And then we trash the Gaimon, trash more. So we're down to 7 in our deck. So all we got to do is just survive this round and we're good. 8, Gum Gum Gavel. Trash the, 9,000. Trash 2. 12, we block out of this. Even if he attacks all 7, we counter out with a 2k, 1k. This is basically GG. Swing 12 into the Zeph. That's perfectly fine. We take that. Stands up his Katakuri. I think we have like 7 left in hand, right? We use the Hanger. Trash 1. Draw 1. Hanger again. trash one, draw one, play the boodle, and notice 2 cards left. We just block with the boodle and then take the life and then counter out, and that's GG. Not much really. Swing for 8, they do counter out, pass it back over, it's game. We take the last life, Roger, swing 12 at us, we use the gavel, and we're down to 0 in deck, and that's GG to our opponent. That was very close, closer than what I'm comfortable with, but you know, we didn't get any of our Kayas, we didn't get any of anything else really, the rubber band of dooms and whatnot, but we made it work. We made it work real well. There were some misplays, like us attacking 6 into 7. If we didn't do that, we would have had a better chance of trashing more cards in our deck, but it is what it is. GG to our opponent. Let's get into the next match. Okay, we're in our match against Emu. Notice we have a good hand. We have the Searcher, Nami, Kaya, Sanji's Pilaf, Rubber Band of Doom, and a 2k and a 1k. And I say 2k and a 1k because that's what we mainly use it for. Except the 3-cost Zeph, of course, it's going to be useful in this matchup. If Emu activates a blocker or an event, we get to trash 3 or 4 cards from the top of our deck. So really good. We did, by the way, choose second. So we took second from this Emu and we kept this hand. Actually, yeah, we mulliganed to get this hand. So play out the Searcher and then play out the Kaya. Or maybe we keep for Rubber Band of Doom, right? Yeah, we do keep for Rubber Band of Doom. He attaches 2 to his leader, trashes 1, draws 1, swings 7 into us. We Rubber Band of Doom and then 1k or 2k, sorry. We want to keep the Zeph for, you know, play it out. Cool, we got out of that. We played the Zeph. No, I think Sanji's Pilaf, perfect. Swing 1. We take the Sanji's Pilaf again. I think we play out another Nami here. Perfect. Swing 5. We should play out another Nami, right? We attach our 1 Dawn to Nami and then swing for 6. I think we should have played out the Nami. That allows us to search for more cards and get to our events a lot quicker to keep them in our hand instead of trashing them accidentally, right? Swing for 6. He counters out with a 2k. We pass it back over to him. He's on his 5 Dawn turn. He trashes the Mars, draws a card, attaches 3 to his leader, swings for 8. We take. He has 2 Dawn left, passes it back to us. I'm surprised he didn't play a body out, and I'm surprised he didn't attack into our Nami. But we take those. We swing with the Nami. We don't get anything, but notice, we do remember that the Kayas are on the bottom. We space them out just enough so that we know if we draw 2 and trash 2, we're gonna run into it again, okay? Go ahead, Sanji's Pilaf, and we get a Sanji's Pilaf from the draw. Play a Boodle out, play a Nami out. We should. Perfect. Swing 5. He does counter out of this, and then we pass it back over. Now we have 2 Namis to search our events and a Boodle, and we have a stacked hand. So we're looking good so far. I wish I could hover over and see how many cards we have in our deck, but I do that eventually. We'll see. Plays the Nizdro, swings 5 into us. We block, trash 1. We get rid of the Zeph, unfortunately, swings 5 at us. We counter with a 1k. Gaimon. No, we use the Nami. That's fine, I think, because the Gaimon allows us to attack into them, and then the Mr. Hanger allows us to draw 1, trash 1, right? Cycle our cards. So we play the Zeph and the Gaimon out. Attack, swing for 1. We get the Rubber Band of Doom. Notice we get another Kaya there, so we know where it's at. We have 3 upcoming still. And then I think we swing into their leader here. We should. Okay, we use the Nami again, and we get the Gavel. And notice we have another Gavel on the bottom, so we know that's coming up too. So we have a decently stacked hand. We have tons of events. We attach the rest to our Nami and swing for 8 because that forces them to either use an event or just take, and if he does either, we are able to trash more cards. Okay, he does use an event. We use the Zeph's ability. Unfortunately, we got rid of a Rubber Band of Doom and a Mr. Hanger, but that's fine. Pass it back over to them. They're on their 9 Dawn turn. His mistake in this entirety of the game is not attacking into our Nami. He should have been attacking into that at the very beginning. We counter out of this, swings 5 again. I think we counter out, right? Cool. We get rid of the Mr. Hanger. Swings 5 again. We take. We get the Zeph. Thank God. Now we have the Kaya Zeph combo and tons of events. And I think that's exactly what we do here. Although I think we should do our searches first. No events. Perfect. Put it at the bottom. And this brings us closer to our Kayas. There's that first one. So we have another one coming up in our draw. 22, draw, see, there's that Kaya. Always remember what you put on the bottom and what you have coming up. That's how I knew that the Kaya was coming up. And we have 1, 2, we have 1 more coming up and then 1 more towards the end. So always be aware, right? When you're playing this Nami character, it's not really hard to memorize, right? It is like, you're not memorizing every single card. You're memorizing key cards and how deep down they are, okay? So we go ahead, use the Gaimon, attach 3 to our leader, swing for 8 again. If he uses a blocker, we trash. If he counters, we trash, right, because of the Zeph. But if he takes, we have 2 Gaimons on board and leader ability. So guess what? Trash, trash, trash. We're down to 13 cards in deck. And that's perfect. Why? Look at how much counter we have. We have 2 Kayas. We have a Zeph combo for that 6. We have 2, 4, 5, 6 more from the event. So that's 12 total. Okay, and we have 3 life still. So we're looking real good here. He plays out the Nuzjuro and the Mars to KO our Zeph, and that's understandable. He should, like I said, he should have been attacking into our Namis, but I guess he just didn't see it as quite a threat. But guess what? Too little too late. Even if you had your 10 cost, it wouldn't have mattered. The reason why he plays these Nuzjuros out is so he can rush us down. That's not gonna happen. 5 into us, counter, Rubber Band of Doom, trash 1, 12 in deck. Again, Rubber Band of Doom, trash 1, 11. 5 into the Nami finally, take. 5 into the Nami again, take. Little too late there, guy. Swings 5 at us. I think we take and we get a gavel. Even more perfect. Kaya, trash 2. Kaya again, trash 2. We use the Zeph. Take the Kaya again. Trash cards from deck. We're at 4 in deck left. Kaya again. We could Kaya again here. And then just that's 2. And then we would have won with a gavel. But either way, we're going to win with a gavel anyways. So notice here, it's basically just GG. There's nothing he can do that's going to stop us from winning. 5, gavel. Trash, 2 left. Attack again, gavel. GG. And that's the game. So you can see Nami can still be really good. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's fun. You just gotta really be aware of what's going on in your deck and what you're putting on the bottom and what's in your trash. But that's how it's always been, right? GG to our Emu here. Let's get into our final match against Ace. Okay, here we are. We decide to take second from the Ace. Of course, we always want to take their curve. Now, the Ace matchup is one of the hardest if you're using promo Nami, of course. It's one of the hardest with promo Nami because Ace has that real good aggro and defense early on. And so your strategy here, unlike the others, is not playing out cards that, you know, if you attack, you trash 7 or use your leader to attack into them, because that's just not going to work. The game plan here is to get your hangers, your Namis, and your events, and your Boodles, of course. The way you play this is not as aggressive as the other ones. The Ace matchup is purely defense, okay? Purely defense, which you'll see. Go ahead, we keep this because we have 2 Searcher Namis. That's perfect for us. He plays a Garp, does a search, gets his 4-cost blocker Marco, he passes it back to us. We play out the 2 Namis, pass it back to him. He plays out the Otama, draws 2, trashes the Goldie Roger, attaches the rest of his Dawn, swings 8 at us, we take. We swing, we get our events, of course. Notice we place them just right at the bottom. Again, we take a gavel again, and notice we have the gavel and the Rubber Band of Doom on the bottom. So we're eventually going to draw into those. Just knowing where they're set up, they're like 4 cards apart. And so knowing that they're 4 cards apart allows us to strategize around that later on. We go ahead, play out the hanger, we trash 1, draw 1, we get a Rubber Band of Doom, play out the Boodle, and pass it back over. All in all, that was a great turn. We did our searches. We have pseudo blockers on board that he has to attack into, otherwise we gain so much value out of. We cycled our hand to get our events, and we have a blocker on board to potentially defend one of our bodies on board and trash a card at the same time. He plays out a Garp, he gets the Edward Newgate blocker from his search, does another search with the Izo, he gets the Jozu from that one, attaches 3 to his Garp, he swings 6 at us. I don't know why he didn't attach the leader, but here's what it is. We counter out with the 2k Apis, he swings 5 into us. I think we end up taking, right? Or block, yeah, trash 1. Swings 0 into our Mr. Hanger, we should counter out maybe. Yeah, we should counter out because the hanger has so much value. It's not only a pseudo blocker, but like you get to cycle your cards. And so we get the Sanji from draw, Sanji spill off, we draw, we attack into the Otama because we can, and we get no events, place it at the bottom. Notice the Kaya is at the bottom. He ends up doing his search with his Izo, and I think he counters out of this one. Gives us a 2k or something, or leader ability. 2k, swing again 1. No more events again. So that tells me a little something, right? Maybe some of them are in our life or they're going to be upcoming here soon, but we do have 2 Kayas at the bottom. Yep, we place them at the bottom. Notice they're 5 apart. So really good. He ends up taking this. Or no, he counters out 2k counter. Weird. We go ahead and play out another Searcher Nami, do our Mr. Hanger, and then we pass it back over with 2 Dawn left for our counters. Swings 2 into the Hanger. Maybe Rubber Band of Doom and a 1k. Yep, Rubber Band of Doom, trash. 1k. Unfortunately, from that, we get rid of a Sanji's Pilaf. You never want to see that. That it is what it is, though. He attaches 2 to his Otama, swings 2 into the hanger. No reason to save this. Let it go. He swings 2 into the Searcher Nami, or he plays the Marco out, swings 7 into us, I think. Which, if he does, we just gum gavel. Get rid of the Boodle. Yep. Swings 2 into that. We take, but we still have 2 Searcher Namis, so we swing into the Otama, get the Pilaf. We have the Kaya and the Rubber Band of Doom on the bottom. Always be aware, right? We should play the hanger out here. See, notice what we're doing here is playing as defensive as possible and playing those pseudo blockers, which is the Searcher Nami and the Mr. Hanger. That allows us to not only get to our counters, but set up our bottom deck. So we go ahead. I think we swing here again to try to get another event, and we do get the Rubber Band of Doom. Perfect. We play out the Hanger here. No, I think we keep. Swing 5 into the guard. He blocks. Pass it back over. That's 2 Dawn for our events. Okay. So we're doing real well here. We're still at 4 life. And notice he's just focused on getting rid of the bodies on our board. That's why he attaches all this Dawn. He instead of playing out like a big Whitebeard, he just instead focuses on getting rid of our bodies. So he swings 6, we get rid of it. Swing 6 again, get rid of it. Swing 6, he clears our board. Swing 7 at us. Rubber Band of Doom. Rubber Band of Doom. Perfect. We're at 17 cards in deck. Swing 5 into 2. Takes. Mr. Hanger. Trash 1. I think we do the Zeph here, and we do the same thing with the Mr. Hanger. Not only are we able to trash with the Zeph, but we can use the Mr. Hanger again. Draw 1, trash 1. And we get the Kaya. But we have a gavel. So we decide to pass it back over. That's perfectly fine. 29 in our trash. We're looking through to make sure, see what we have upcoming, right? And just to be aware. As you can see, it's really fun to play this deck. So he swings 2 into the Mr. Hanger. Take. Swing 6 at us. Gum gavel. Trash. We're at 11. It's getting real close. Swing 6 at us, we take and we get a Boodle. Perfect. So here, we use a lot of our Dawn to attach to our Zeph to attack into him, because notice, he has no active Dawn. He doesn't have blockers. He has 5 cards in hand. So this worked well to our advantage. We save 3 Dawn, attach, I think we leave 1 extra, right, for an event just in case. So we attach 6, swing for 12. He can't counter, otherwise he gives us all his hand art, and maybe he doesn't even have the counter. So we end up trashing 7. We're down to 3, okay? Play the Boodle, Kaya, draw 2, trash 2, and basically once we block, that's GG. Nothing else you can do there. He does Red Rock our Boodle though, and that's very smart. He was really aware. So he Red Rocks our Boodle because we have 1 left in the tank, right? Notice what he does. Red Rock. Uh-oh. So we have 2 cards now in hand, right? Swings 5 into us. Well, 7 first. Cool, we take. We get the gavel. Okay, perfect. We have 1 Dawn up, and that's why we left the 1 Dawn up for this exact situation. Attack into us, gavel, and that's GG. So notice he's bricked up. He does have like 2k counter, that's it. But what got us really was that Zeph attack into them. He left himself too wide open with not enough counter, and that allowed us to get ahead and trash 7. Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it. I don't think we could have made it. There's just no way. We didn't have the cards that we needed. We were already accidentally trashing our Sanji's Pilaf. We weren't getting to it, right? We weren't able to search it with our Namis. And so anyways, that was a real close game with our ace player here. GG to him. And let's get right into the deck breakdown, okay? All right, everyone. Like I said, this deck is very, very fun. In all honesty, if you play it right, it always catches the opponents off guard. Honestly, I wouldn't replace any other card until we get new East Blue support, right? I don't know what East Blue support we're getting, but until then, I think this is just perfect. The only thing I would change is this 4-cost Usopp. I don't really see play in it. I do think we want counter instead of a non-counter card, right? Or something that even trashes when you attack, right? Although this does exactly that, I do think there could be better options, like say maybe a blocker or even honestly a Najiko. That way you gain less. Yeah, maybe like a Najiko. And that way you gain less aggro on the board. So like say they have a 5 or less, you can get rid of that body and they have to waste more resources to play it out to attack into you. So that would be better than the Usopp in all personally, but it's all up to preference and how you like to play. And so I'll go back to the original deck list, but your main combos here, right, are the Nami search, the hanger. If you're playing defensive, it's the Nami search, the hanger, Kaya, Zeph. So you're chaining these while gaining your events and chaining these. So Zeph into Kaya, Zeph into hanger, Boodle to guard, Nami to search. If you're playing aggressive, which like in Roger you can because he doesn't have a lot of blockers, right? And attacking into him is easy. You're attacking with your leader, applying pressure with these cards. Usopp, Belmir, and Zeph. That way you can trash, instead of trashing these petty cards like 2 or 3 at a time, you're trashing 7. But at the same time getting your events too. In the Emu matchup, go back to the Roger matchup a bit, you play this Gaimon out also at the same time. So attacking into them, being aggressive allows you to trash all these cards. And this Gaimon, Belmir, Zeph, Usopp all allow that to happen, including the Zeph. In the Emu matchup, obviously the Zeph playing more defensive kind of. In the Ace matchup, very, very defensive. Kaya, Zeph, Hanger, boodle. Like you're just chaining these while looking for your events, right? And like I said, there's lots of cool combos. Like say you're on your 10 Dawn turn, Kaya, Zeph, Kaya again, and then you could go into like a hanger boodle or whatever. Or like if you're doing there's also like if you have Usopp in your hand by chance, if you're like on your 6 or 8 Dawn turn, play this out, attach to your Dawn, and they have no blockers and not a lot of cards, swing into them, that's -7 in your deck, right? So really good. It's really dependent on the situation, like I said, but there are tons of combos you can do here. Although there isn't a lot of East Blue support till then, this is the deck list I'd go with. It was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the matches. I really hope you did. This was one of the more fun decks that I've tested and played with. I played a lot of games with this deck. You'd be surprised, and it's fun. So hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like and subscribe if you know, love this type of content. If you love my off meta deck series, I'm gonna do this for every set, right? Whatever the meta decks are for that set, I'm gonna be playing off meta. Because like I said in my past videos, I love playing off meta. I love cool leaders that have these weird abilities, Vegapunk, alternate win cons, Nami, just, you know, all these cool things. And so please leave a like and subscribe again if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.